How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and today we are continuing with my PSA 10 Japanese set-based EX set. So the set we have for today is the first set in the PCG era. It is PCG2, Clash of the Blue Sky. And this set translates to EX Deoxys in English. I believe we have 7 EX cards in this set. But then, as this is the start of the PCG era, we have some extra special treats for when we are done with the EX cards. So, without any further ado, let's get into these EX cards. First one here. I just realized that I never took out the business card, so thank you, Level 100 Ash, for selling me this card probably quite a while ago. It is Hariyama EX. This is a very nice card. Again, I just love all these EX cards. This one, I think, so this one is Ryo Ueda. He really took over a significant portion of the EX cards in the PCG era. There's less Hikaru Koike artwork, although he still has illustrated some amazing cards. But Ryo Ueda starts doing a lot of them in the PCG era. We get more of the sort of 3D style Mitsuhiro Arita artwork as well. But yeah, just the sort of bluish background here, again, really allows that hollow pattern to pop. These EX cards, just beautiful, and they've sort of set the style for hollow borders in the future. So, there is Hariyama EX. Next up, this one was a pain. Manectric EX. So this one was actually one of the last ones that I was able to get. So this one was part of basically the final PSA submission that I did, which got me to about 96% of the way of this collection. You can go back and watch the video. It's sort of not my last PSA submission, but the one just before that. I submitted 5 cards that I needed to get 10s, and all of them got 10s. It was really exciting. This Manectric being one of them. As we do, we'll take a look at that beautiful swirl right next to Manectric's head. Let's see if I can, right there, where my thumb is. And, of course, that doubles the value of the card. Yeah, in case you are unaware. Yep, swirls double value. So, very nice. Again, so this is Hikaru Koike artwork. Again, really reminds me of like EX Dragon, the Rulers of the Heavens set. I think this card would fit in really well in that set with the Hikaru Koike artwork. Next up, Crobat EX. This is one that I've had many copies of. For some reason, it always seems to just be out there in mint condition and in PSA 10. But still a very nice card. Really like it. I think the sort of wing flapping animation is really cool there. Seems like Crobat's like doing an attack with his wings. And then of course you've got the really interesting sort of red background there. Very nice. And again, of course, these EX cards are always made with this hollow pattern in mind. So it is just beautiful. Very nice. Alright, next up, another one that's not exactly a huge EX card, Sharpedo EX, more Hikaru Koike artwork, very nice, again with that red background. I think this, like, with the red background and everything, this reminds me of, like, and sort of the red, sort of, hue there to Sharpedo's nose. I feel like Sharpedo's coming up on a boat that it's about to sink or something. It's got the running lights there. But yeah, very powerful artwork for Sharpedo. Again, Sharpedo EX, not exactly the most popular EX card, but a very nice card nonetheless. Alright. Next card. There we go. Salamence EX. This card was fairly difficult for me to grade. I actually remember I sent in several copies in several subsequent PSA submissions, and it was, 9, 9, 9. Was actually fairly difficult for me to grade this card, and back when I was grading it, I mean, you can see the cert number. I finally got the 10 back a couple years ago. And, you know, back when I was grading these cards, there really weren't a lot of these cards out there. There are more these days. Still not a lot of the more harder to find cards, but back in the day when I was grading these were nowhere. So it was grade it myself or not have it. So eventually I think I sent in 3 in one submission, just like, all right, one of them's gonna score a 10, and of course all 3 of them scored 10s. So it was, I had struck out and then I hit 3 home runs in a row. So again, love the red background on this. Beautiful artwork for Salamence, just beautiful. Holo doesn't shine as well on this card, but still very nice nonetheless. Next up, Deoxys Attack Form. That 3D Mitsuhiro Arita artwork there. Just beautiful. Again, the background here really allowing the holo to shine. This one is mislabeled. It's mislabeled as Deoxys Holo, not Deoxys EX. Eventually, when I have enough of these cards that need to be relabeled, I'll send them into PSA. But, you know, just 1 or 2 here and there, really not, you know, it has the correct card number and everything, so it's probably just mislabeled in their database, so they need to update that. But still a very, very beautiful card. I love, so this is like the gymnastics Deoxys, or as some people call it, the stripper Deoxys. But I think it's very cool. A very, very interesting pose there, and very, very sort of unconventional for an EX card to see something like that. But I don't know, I really like it. And last but not least, for the EX cards, we have Deoxys Defense Form EX. Beautiful. Again, it sort of it's the artwork, the background looks like Deoxys is like on a comet or something. Reminds me of the ending in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire when you did the Delta episode. That was just super exciting to do that. And yeah, like Deoxys coming out of the comet there after Rayquaza is breaking through it. Just beautiful, beautiful card. If you were wondering, the Deoxys, so there are obviously 2 more forms of Deoxys, Deoxys Normal and Deoxys Speed. All of those were either in EX Deoxys or EX Emerald. So in Japanese, the Speed form is in the Emerald gift box, and the attack, or the normal form, is in, I think, just a half deck. I think there's like a Deoxys Rayquaza half deck that those are in. So that does it for the EX cards, but as of course this is the beginning of the PCG era, this was the start of the Gold Star cards. Now, while Gold Star cards are not explicitly a focus of my collection, I mainly focus on the EX cards. Of course, I have some of them here and there. So just want to show off the Gold Star cards that I do have for the set, and for this set they are incredible. So the first one, a Mint 9 Latias Gold Star Unlimited Edition. Really, really nice. Again, just these Gold Star cards are amazing. This was I graded this myself, one of the first cards that I graded when I got back into the hobby. This was in my first PSA submission. Yeah, so it was just really, really exciting to get this card and grade it. Bought it direct from Japan, and goodness, well, I don't know how much I paid back in 2014, 2015 when I started collecting, but probably, you know, $50 or something ridiculous by today's standards for this mint condition Gold Star card. And honestly, I think one Latias is not good enough. So here is a second, this Latias being a near mint to mint 8 first edition copy. So for Clash of the Blue Sky, first edition, you know, the first edition versus Unlimited is kind of iffy on Japanese cards. The print runs vary. Some have a way more significant first edition run than Unlimited. Others have about equal, and some of them, the first edition run is smaller than the unlimited run, as you sort of normally would expect logically. Clash of the Blue Sky was one of those where the first edition run was smaller, so these first edition Gold Star cards are much harder to find and much more valuable. So this card really only has some minor issues on it. There's a ding in the corner there. So I just love it. First edition Gold Star card. Just look at that hollow pattern, especially right there, sort of on the left of the card. You've just got so much beauty there. And this is just an amazing card. And what would a video on EX Deoxys be without a Rayquaza Gold Star? So this is probably one of my favorite cards in my collection. It is a very good 3 first edition Rayquaza Gold Star. Now back in the day, probably 2015, 2016, I paid about $18 for this card. Yep, $18 for a first edition Rayquaza Gold Star. And, you know, it's not really, and, you know, it's in bad condition, but it doesn't really look like it. If I covered up the grade here and you saw that front of that card, you'd probably think that's a 8 or above. The front is really nice. There are no scratches on the hollow. It is so amazing to look at this card like this. And it's really only when you turn it over to the back that you notice, yep, the edges are chewed up a little. There's a crease running through it right in the middle. But for less than $20, I don't think you could purchase anything better in the Pokemon hobby. I'm sure some people have made some better $20 or less purchases, but for me, this is probably the best value for my money that I ever got in the Pokemon TCG in my collecting journey. So with that, thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and stick around for more videos. My favorite EX card from this set, goodness, this is going to be difficult. I think it is a fairly close contest between the Deoxys and the Salamence EX. I think I would have to say that the Salamence EX is the winner for my favorite EX card from this set. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and stick around for more installments into this series. The next one's pretty big. It is Rocket Gang Strikes Back, or EX Team Rocket Returns. Thank you very much.